Good day, guys. This is another tutorial video on Flutter. So, um, today we are going straight into how to install Flutter on Windows devices. I'll probably make another video as to the way you install it on a Mac OS. So, first of all, we want to navigate to the main Flutter website, and that's flutter.dev. We can try that here, flutter.dev to bring us to the main Flutter page. Now, when you get on this page, what you want to do is to go to Docs or Documents, right? When you get here, you go to the Get Started pane. On reaching Get Started, you choose the device on which you want to install the Flutter SDK or the Flutter framework. Well, we are doing Windows, so we choose Windows. If we were doing Mac, you will go to Mac. But since this is Windows, we are only going to deal with Windows. So then it brings you to another page. Now this page basically tells you what you need to do before you run the Flutter SDK and what's not. Mostly these requirements are basic, pretty basic. You should have a disk space of 1.64 gigabytes. That should be a basic thing. And obviously most of you are running Windows 10 by now. So we download the Flutter Windows SDK. And for me, I already have the Flutter Windows SDK, but for the purpose of this video, I will download it. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'll wait the whole time to download it, but let me just put the video on pause so it's a step-by-step walkthrough. Yeah. We are back. Our Flutter SDK is done downloading. I have a pretty slow internet connection, so pardon me. So yeah, this is the Flutter SDK. So we'll go ahead and open it. Yeah, so from here, according to the Flutter website, it says that we should move Flutter to a desired location. Now, for me, I've already done that. But then, for the purpose of the video, we will put Flutter in our local disk C drive, just so we can identify it easily. So let's go ahead and do that. So you open your Explorer, Windows Explorer. You navigate to this computer. Hold on. Yeah, this computer. Go to your drive C, double click. Yeah, and as you can see, I already have Flutter here. So this is my Flutter SDK. So you just drag and then drop it wherever you want in the drive C. You can put it anywhere you want. That depends on you. So next we follow this. You can follow this documentation to do the whole installation. Well, there's another method too. You can use your terminal or command prompt to install it straight from the internet without having to download the SDK and all that. All you do is open your command prompt and then you copy this specific command here and then you paste it here and then you start. But I'm not going to do it because like I already have it, so it's going to cause a lot of problems. So you can just do that and then you are good to go. But then after downloading the SDK, one thing you have to do is you have to configure the environment path, or in other words, the environment variables for your Windows account. So you can follow this specific tutorial here as to what you should do in configuring the environment path. Also, you can use the command prompt version as well. All you have to do is copy and paste. I've already done that, but you can do it by yourself. So the next thing we will do is to check whether everything we have concerning Flutter is correct. We have to check if we have the Flutter SDK. We have to check if we have Android Studio. Now let me go dive a bit into Android Studio. Now with Flutter, you can use different IDEs. When I say IDEs, I'm sure most of you know IDEs by now, but IDEs are basically softwares which will allow you to code whatever you want to code. So an example is for C++, an IDE for C++ is code blocks. Yes. An IDE for Java could be Android Studio, or NetBeans. So an IDE you can use for Flutter is also Android Studio, or we have Android Studio, we have Visual Studio Code as well. But for this, the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to use Android Studio. So before you check if you have everything intact, you should make sure you have your Android Studio installed. And let me just take you through that quickly. That is it's nothing difficult. So you just go to Android Studio. Just Google Android Studio. Okay, so you go to the first link you should have there is their main page. Yeah, so once it opens up, you just go ahead and download the latest version of Android Studio, which is Chipmunk. That's the latest version. So I already have that. The symbol for the app should look something like this. Good. So as soon as you download it, right, they are going to ask you if you are downloading for a 64-bit PC or a 32. Most of us are using 64-bit, so I think the first download link you see is all right. So you can just use that to download it. So next we do our Flutter Doctor. Yes, so our Flutter Doctor, as I said, is to check if everything you have set up for Flutter is ready. You get it. Yes. So first you open your command prompt. Let me just type cmd, and then you run Flutter Doctor. You can just copy and paste the how do you call it, the command from the Windows the website, and paste it in your command prompt, and then you hit enter. So it will bring up all the things you need, like I said, to run a Flutter project successfully. So let's just wait while it gathers all the stuff I need. Yeah, so as you can see, I have all the things I need to run Flutter. So this is the SDK we wanted to download earlier, and we actually did download. This is a tool chain for Android devices, as in normally it comes with the Android Studio. When you install Android Studio, it comes with it. Now we have Chrome. I obviously have Chrome is like the Chrome browser. You can debug with Chrome. Like I said earlier, Flutter is a cross-platform software, or cross-platform framework, sorry. So you can debug on any cross-platform device. You can debug on a website, on your phone, on a desktop, as many things, even on a fridge. So for Chrome is just telling you that I have the Chrome browser installed. I also have Visual Studio, I have Android Studio, I have VS Code, and there are 4 connected devices. Yeah. So right now we are all set to start a project in Flutter. I'm going to teach you how to create your first Flutter project. Right? I'm going to teach you how to create that. So let's just dive straight in. So after all this, you just open your Flutter app or your Flutter software. Now this is how it's going to look like. This is the logo and all that. So yeah, I already have a project opened in, so excuse me, I will start a new project. So if you have an already existing project, right, you just go to new. But then since this is the first video, let me start fresh. So let me close the project. Okay, so when you have a fresh Flutter installation, I mean when you have a fresh Android Studio installation, this is how your Android Studio pane is going to look like. Yes, without these things, because these are obviously projects I'm working on. So you start with a new project. Yes, and it's going to ask you which language. If you were coding in Java, you would have chosen Java or Android. So we choose Flutter, and then it will automatically pick the Flutter SDK you put in your local disk, as we said earlier. So from here, you just click on next. It's a pretty simple setup. Okay, so with this pane, you give a name of your project, the project you're about to run. So let's just make this test project 1. Good. So you can add a description. That depends totally on you. So now, as I told you, it's a cross-platform software. So you can choose which devices you want it to run on. You can choose Mac OS. You can choose Linux as well. But I don't think you will use that. But then you can still keep that ticked. But let's just untick that. Yes. So we are pretty much done with this. So when you're done, you just click the finish button, and then it will create the basic Flutter project for you. Good. So this is how your app should look like. Your Flutter app should look like, or your Android Studio should look like when you start Flutter. So I will show you some basic things you need to know while programming. You understand? So this over here is like the project files. You understand? Most of these things are normally generated while you start your project. So as soon as you start your project, give it a name and everything. All these are automatically generated. So we have the library. Short form is lib. The library contains the actual files you'll be working with when you are doing your project. So this is a main.dat. Now, before we go into the whole Flutter framework thing, that is the that is the brain behind Flutter. So that is the main programming language you will be coding in. Yes. So in some cases, when you start your Flutter project, you will have to download that as a programming language. You understand? So we download that by simply going into the settings of your Android Studio. Yes. Once you open up settings, it's a bit slow. Excuse me. So once you open up your settings, you navigate to plugins. So when you go to your plugin pane, you search for Dart, DART. Now, as you can see, it's blurred out because I've already installed it. But then there will be a pop-up. You see there's an update here saying I should update my Flutter. You see an install pop-up there to install that. It shouldn't take much time. I mean, just a short time to be done installing the Dart. So after that, you're good to go. So let me just hit OK here. So yeah, that was for the installation of that. Now this is your main page. Now if you were to run this is what, or if you were to run this particular code, you would have just a page with a counter. So let me pause the video and try and then set up an emulator right now. So, well, I think we will need to learn how to set up the emulator too as well. So once you start your Flutter project, you go to create a device. Now you go there by just simply clicking this icon, which looks like a phone with the Android symbol there. So when you enter this or you click this, you have the option to use a physical device, which is probably your Android phone or whatever. Note this is Windows, so you can't use an Apple device on there. So you can use this by just putting in your phone and then enabling USB debugging, and then you'll be fine. But for the purposes of the video, I'm going to use a virtual device. So with this, sometimes depending on your Android Studio version, you already have a default emulator which comes with it, but sometimes you have to download one yourself. The space it consumes or the data you need to download this is probably 1.5 or 2 gig. Yeah, it shouldn't be more than. Let me take this because I think I've used one of these before. So I'm showing you how to set up um, 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 an emulator. So you just choose what you want. So there's a whole list of mobile phones as well as TVs. I think there was once I saw, yeah, there's a TV here. There's a tablet too as well. You can run it on an Android TV, your phone, even with your car players. You can also run your apps on it. So let's just go with this and we click next, and it's going to ask you which Android versions you want to run it on. Since we are currently familiar with Android Studio 11, we'll go with that because most of the phones now are running Android 11 as their OS. So you click next, and then you can give your phone a nickname, but we'll go with the default name given to the phone and click on finish. So this is our phone here, our virtual phone here. So we can start the phone here by just hitting the play, right? So you can see over here starting Android virtual device. So we're starting the AVD. This will take a while depending on your laptop speed. So normally while we wait for the emulator to open, normally I would recommend you to have at least 16 gigs of RAM. You get me? So you can have a smooth run of your Android Studio. Yes. So, okay. I think I have pretty much a lot of things running. So let's use a lower SDK or a lower Android version. So, let's go with 29 or even Android version 9. Let's see this will work. So let me just run this. So already you can see the space it has taken, 8.6. So you have to have a lot of hard disk space too as well. For the emulators, they take a lot of RAM space. That's why I recommended that you have at least 16 gigs of RAM. Yeah, that should be fine for a standard Android Studio session game. Yeah. So this thing shouldn't take long. It'll be up and running pretty much any moment from now. Let me pause this and check. Okay, so I opened up quite a number of emulators, so that was why it was giving us all those errors. Because you can open two emulators at once, but it all depends on your RAM. So yeah, so it's one at a time. For the time being, I have 16 gigs of RAM, 256 SSD. So that is not the best specs you can get, but it's good. So our Android Studio emulator is starting up. So I really wish this thing was fast so we can cut the length of the video. Let me pause this again. So this particular emulator is simply your mobile phone, your normal Windows and Android device. So it has all the functions you have on your Android device. And note, for you to have a really enjoyable emulator, you need to have a lot of RAM. So everything boils down to the RAM as well. So as soon as your Android Studio emulator opens up, you would see it here, meaning this is what you are going to debug or run your app on. As you can see, there are other platforms you could run on, like I explained, the Chrome, Edge, Windows desktop, but they all have different configurations as well. So let's just run this first Flutter project. This is a dummy project that comes with your new Flutter installation, just to show how Flutter looks like and the changes you can make. So it's launching. I don't think I'll make a pause here. Let's just wait as it runs. This is not a very big code, so it should take very less time to run. Yeah. So let's just wait. So as soon as your app is done debugging, you should see this screen, this specific screen over here. So this is a visual representation of everything which is happening on here. Now this is a button, the button for running your main app. This is a hot reload. Hot reload simply means after you are done making changes with your code, you can just hit this to make the changes on the Android device. This is also to stop running the app on the smartphone. So let's just look at this, right, on the Android device. So this over here is your Flutter demo homepage, which is written all over here, right? You can see that there is a main.dat page, which simply represents everything we have here. So now the title over here is what you see over here on the Android device. Now, when you come all the way down here, you can see a text with you have pushed the button this many times, and this is what we have here. So this is simply a counter. As soon as you press this, there will be an increment in the number. So you can keep pressing for as long as you want, right? So this is just a dummy app. So before I end this video, I'll quickly try and explain each and every part of the code you can see here. Right. So let me start with the title. Now this is the title of your app you want to give to the app. So initially, when I was explaining Flutter, I explained that Flutter normally deals with widgets, and what we have is a widget is simply a feature in a program or something, or a setup which helps you do other functions. You can check the Google definition of it. But with Flutter, everything we do are mostly widgets. So as you can see here, there's a widget, right? And this widget enables a lot of functions. So you can have a theme in the widget, you can have a text in the widget, you can have a title in the widget, you can have anything you want to put in the widget, you can have a container in the widget. Exactly. So I would like you to observe something. When this is open, this curly brace is open, right? I want you to see where it ends. It ends here, right? It means all these things are in this widget. You understand? Now, from your basic programming languages, you know everything about classes and then objects, right? We kind of incorporate the same thing inside Flutter. So we have classes as well in Flutter. We have also objects as well in Flutter. So this is a class for a home page, which you can see here. So we will say that we are trying to instantiate a page, which is the home page, and we would like to call that in the main widget over here. So as you can see, this class we created over here has been called here, which is the home in the main widget. You get it? Yes. So we have given a variable. Like I said, in your basic programming languages, you know how to describe or instantiate a variable or give a variable. So we say string here is title. Yes, so we want to give the app a title, and then we've given it a variable. So we will later use that title wherever we want to use it. Good. So over here, there's another widget, a widget saying that I'm about to put some stuff into this particular widget, which I want to put up for display. So we start with an app bar. You get it. An app bar is simply what you see here. This whole thing is an app bar. Now, with your app bar, you can put the title, you can put a menu button, you can put some action bars here and there. Yeah, so this is basically your app bar. What's this whole thing, right? It's your app bar. Now, this is more like a body. So I used to tell my friends that program is more like writing a letter, especially when you're programming in HTML. You see, you have the header and all that. Those who have programmed in HTML, you can pretty much use the same principle here. So you can say this is your header. Your app bar should be your header, and then this is your body. You get it. So the body has anything you want to put in the body. Yes. So this over here is a type of layout, right? As you can see, they've already tried to explain everything by default. So it's a layout, but it's a widget as well. I told you everything is widgets. So if you want to center a particular container, you can use this, and in subsequent videos I will show you how to do that. But this is just trying to explain what you can see on the screen. So you can see that this particular text over here is centered in the middle. So that's why we use the center widget. Yes, and since we are displaying like a couple of things, which include the text, the counter, and the button as well, we would like to do everything in a tabular form, just so your code looks a bit presentable. And you know, one thing we use in tables or in your Excel are rows and then columns. You get it. So over here you can see there's a column here. The column simply meaning you are going to have a column, right, with a lot of things, or a container or a space with a lot of things inside. Now for Flutter, right, mostly widgets are assigned one child. When I say widgets are assigned one child, you see, with this particular widget, which is center, you can only assign a child to it. You can't have another child. If you do that, you have an error. Let's just try this. Let me copy this, right, and then paste it right below it. You see it has given me a red prompt. It means that this isn't a sensible argument or a wise argument. So every widget has only one child attached to it. So in a case where you want to have multiple children, you will use a column or a row depending on how you want it arranged. That is why there is a column here. So as you can see, as the program automatically generated a column, it gave a description that there are about to be a list of children which will be in the column. So this is the children here, and text is a child, right? Multiple text will be children. You can also add a container if you wanted, and they'll all be part of the children. You guess it's good. So let me just erase this. So just keep in mind that you cannot have a widget with two child attributes. Either you have one, which is giving you a column so you can add multiple children, or you just stick to that one. You get it. So that's for the body. You get it. Yeah. So with this, after you declare this, you can't add any other child in the body. Everything you have to do should be in the column because you are adding more stuff to it. So let's just make some changes to some of the text. So I show you how the hot reload works. So you have this particular text here. So let me just change this to increase me. Let's add an exclamation here, right? All you have to do is to hit the hot reload, or you press Ctrl and S. and then you have the changes here. So as you can see, we have increase me here, right? So let's make some changes. Let's try and make some changes to the app bar as well. You see, let's make some changes to the app bar as well. We can change this widget dot title and put our own text over there. So this is the test Flutter or test project 1 project project 1, and let's save this and see if we have our changes. As you can see, we have a change there, so just hit the Control S and then you have your changes there. Good. Now aside that, we can have some other attributes with this app bar widget. We can have a center tile, right? We can center this particular text, right, and then put it in the middle. So you just hit center tile and then you label it true and then Control S, and let's see if it will be in the middle. Wow, it's in the middle. So that is another thing or attribute you can have with the app bar. There are a lot of attributes. You can just simply Google them and then you have a list of them. You get it? Good. Now, so before we dive into changing the color, let me just briefly explain what the scaffold in Flutter means, right? So as you can see, there's a Flutter scaffold, this particular thing here. So it's, as you know, in construction, when you have a scaffold, I would say a scaffold is like a skeleton of the building about to be, put up. It's the same applies to the scaffold over here in Flutter. So it's just a visual layout of the structure. That's what you can see. So we can change the background here. So all you need to do is type, let me just do it for the purpose of the video, background color. Since it's a scaffold, you type the color you want. Let's just say, let's use black. So first of all, when you type the background color, right, you need to add something before you actually look for the color black. So we type colors dot black. So this is supposed to be in capital. So colors dot black. So we hit Control S and we see whether our changes will be made. So as you can see, it has been changed, but then we cannot see our text. So as you have in HTML, you can add a style to your text, right? Over here, the increase me. So right after your comma, you can add a style, and then what are we styling? A text. So we have a text style. So with your text style, you can add, these are a list of things you can add to your text, this particular thing over here. So you can look through that and then add whatever you want to add. But what I want to add here is a color. So we know our colors dot, we have a list of colors over here. So let's make this white. Let's see. We are going step by step because we want to see how it will look like. Yeah, and then we come over here because we want to see our counter to as well. So we have the same style. Already there's a style declared here, so declaring it again will be very waste argument. So this is a theme. We have not gotten to theme yet, so let me just blur this out, and then we will declare our own text style and do whatever changes we want. So let's put our color and make this white. So colors dot white. Let's see how this will pop up. You can see your color over there. Now we can increase the size by simply using font size. So let's give this probably 20, right? And let's see how it will look like. You can see it has increased. We can also give this a text font or font size. Sorry, font size. So as you can see, we've already started programming. Yeah. So font size is 15 here too. We save and then see the changes. Okay, so it looks almost the same. Let's make it 30 and see a change. She's bigger now. Good. So let's try and then what should we do? Okay, so let's try and then give a different background color. So let's make this yellow, right? Good. Then let's make the texts black. Well, this is a really nasty UI. Yeah, it's not nice. So we will make other meaningful ones. But then I will be ending the video shortly because I wouldn't like to go overboard. Yeah. So basically, that's what you do in Flutter. So we've just created or made some changes to the default app. This is nothing at all as compared to the tutorials we'll be making shortly. So I will end this video here. I hope you liked this tutorial, even though it's a bit lengthy. So please leave comments in the description as to what you would want to know. Any questions you have, I will reply them, and don't forget to subscribe. Also share this with your friends who would like to partake in the Flutter tutorial. Yeah. So, and as well as your if you have any contributions you like to add to this video, I know there are professionals out there. So if there are any contributions you like to make, something I didn't say well, or some changes you want to add, is welcome. So see you guys in the next video, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.